Thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of A.CARD and Ayrflo's arguably awesome podcast. And today, with me, we have the host with the most, coast to coast, likes its brunch with toast, Anthony Cardiali, aka A.CARD.
Hey, that's me. Welcome. And then we got the guy who's pretty fly, who cries tears of diamonds out his eye. Airflow Gaming. And welcome.
Twinkle, twinkle.
Twinkle, twinkle, bitch.
Not for
I,
kids.
I really
Not for
have to
kids,
say
this
bitch. I
podcast.
feel like if I say bitch at the end, it's a kicker. I'm like 10 years
Oh,
too
dude.
late here. I'm 10 years younger than I am.
Hits like a drum. I mean, definitely not a, very, feminist thing, but yeah, we're
Can
smoothing out
I
the
can I be
wrinkles.
honest? We need to tell them that we recorded like 15 minutes of actually we were talking 15 minutes and we didn't hit the record button.
Oh, so basically he wants to spoil on himself, but we were trying to record the episode earlier and kind of missed about like a good 15 minutes. So, you know,
It was so
hey, lesson
good.
learned. Make sure the button's pressed when you we had settled into a natural flow, and so it just was kind of like a little heartbreaking when I looked over and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh my god, we're not recording." I felt like
What are we using for our recording, by the way?
Oh, yes. Thank you for speaking of Rich. We're gonna be recording on SquadCast right now. We're doing a free 7-day trial, just kind of feeling it out. It's really great right now. It's bridging the connection between me over here in the greater Portland metro area and A.CARD in the Gresham area. And it's just a really handy way of recording all of your video and audio separately for the post editing process. And it really has been, once I figured out some of the kinks, like a godsend. And I think that this is going to be a really good format moving forward as far as how we're going to be getting the episode recorded and getting it out to you folks.
Yeah, and we're not sponsoring that, by the way, but we're just letting you all know. Just giving you all the info. We're not getting paid.
Speaking of not sponsors, here's Bunny with a Chainsaw, a hazy double IPA by Paperback Brewing
I
out in Glendale, California. I'm sipping on it, and it's kind of sipping me back, like, if that makes any sense. Face is getting a little flush. I don't know if that's the ring light, but
oh
it's
god.
a little hot here.
It's like some anime you'd see on TV or some Japanese film that's weird.
It literally says his cuteness will cut you to pieces. Bunny with a chainsaw,
Now,
bunny power.
if anybody knows A.CARD, if you're familiar with it, you've seen it maybe on a remix that I've been doing since 2008 and I stopped last year doing music, or Rec Room with Ayrflo, because Ayrflo Gaming is also on Rec Room. We're not on it too
I
often now
love
and
me some
then.
video games, man.
I know we love us some Rec Rooms. We're not on too often nowadays. Sometimes you'll see some video bursts upload every 5 months or something from me. I still have some like 10 games I haven't even uploaded from Rec Room in the last 3 weeks. I've been installing, so busy. And then Airflow's uploading some game footage every now and then, or we do skits every rarely. But yeah, that's how you know us,
I was
mates.
thinking of doing another cleaning video if you've seen any of those on my YouTube. I just love cleaning up with a montage.
And if you can find his secretly hard to find YouTube channel that he first created, you'll see a lot of home videos that are pretty good too.
Oh man. So back when I first started YouTube, well, we can talk about this for a quick second. People were making sprite videos. Now sprite videos were like little frame by frame animations, or
Like Super
sometimes people
Nintendo.
would use animating programs. But yeah, they would use like, Game Boy sprites or Nintendo sprites, which are the characters from that game. They would rip them out and you could basically rework them into animations and create little videos from them. And I thought that that was one of the coolest things I'd ever seen. and I was like, yes, sign me on. And so for gosh, like over a decade ago, for a few years, I was animating videos frame by frame in Movie Maker.
That was 15 years ago, Eric.
Dude, it's 15 years ago.
15.
Mm,
2007
Yeah,
when I saw you doing that. Yeah,
yeah,
what
yeah.
computer were you using?
I still have the freaking tower sitting in the other room. I'm trying to find out if I can
It's a
rip the hard drive
box.
out of it,
It's a
but
box.
it's archaic at best.
How many hours would this take you? I remember we would be on we used to talk on the phone a lot. His dad was concerned. It was that bad. Back in high
Oh my
school.
gosh.
We were our only friends. We were all we had.
Hey, there's that's best what best buds are for. You can't really blame a guy for talking to the dude all the time. You know what I mean? It's not like we were being weird.
Well, we were weird.
And even if we were, so what? That's just, how life is. People get a little weird.
We'll definitely be into it because we'll have to talk about how we met.
Oh, dude, hell yeah. You remember Merciless Bitches?
Oh, a band. Oh God.
A
I
band that
still
never even
have those.
was.
I don't have those musics anymore. It was in my ex's car and those CDs, and she threw them away.
Oh, drove away with your disc. What was
Yeah,
you?
she took them. God. Oh
But
well, we have the memories. Thanks for the memories. In the words of Fallout Boy. The '90s, so great. 4.99. Outrageous audio.
that's a great one, man.
That guy's right down the street. That guy's right down the street from me.
I just made a reference to that guy the other day. Yeah, dude.
Well, at least outrageous audio is right down the street from me. It's literally you turn left and it's there. It's a weird area I think to be in, but it's still here, family owned, and I'm sponsoring it for free.
Well, speaking of family, brother, why don't you go ahead and talk to us a little bit about what, like, family life for young Anthony, for young A.CARD. What was early family life like, and what did school kind of like feel like for you back in that time?
Young me. It felt like school. No,
It felt that's pretty simple, but that's fair. School felt like school.
it felt like school. No, yeah. Well, we weren't on computers all the time unless you had to type something. I'll get into that, of course, when we first got our first computer, the iMac in '99. But for school, my earliest childhood memory, I remember life before preschool, but not much. I can remember back to '93, but I started going to preschool in '94 to '95.
Do you remember fluoride tablets?
Yeah, we did that in first grade. That was in first grade, yeah. Um, yeah, fluoride tablet. We started doing that in '97. It didn't last very long. We would brush our teeth after we ate our lunch, take the fluoride, swish it around, and then spit it out. I forgot what the process was. But for
There were
early
some that were like
memories,
that. I used to have the tablets. I used to have to pop the little orange tablets. Look like a Tic
yeah,
Tac.
I think we'd brush our teeth and then chew it. I forgot. I think we had to gargle for a little bit. But for preschool, yeah, I remember we would do arts and crafts. I remember painting my feet and hands and putting it on paper for like some project, dressing up as nursery rhyme characters and singing each nursery rhyme as we were dressed up. I was Wee Willie Winky. I remember arriving to school late that day and I didn't want to do it, but I did it. I just ran around awkward with a little lantern Halloween light. I had a crush. Her name was Emily Nguyen. We would play Light Bright together all the time. If you know what Light Bright is, it's coming back, I think, because of the new Stranger Things season. I don't know. I saw it advertised.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Um, but after that, I went to Columbia Christian Elementary, still down on Burnside. I want to say Burnside or Gleason. I forgot, but it's still there. It looks smaller. Things get smaller. Playgrounds, schools when you get older. But yeah. What about you? What was
They
your
just start
earliest?
figuring.
Huh?
Oh, sorry, I did not mean to interrupt, brother.
What what
um,
what are you gonna say? What did I start figuring out? What my life?
no,
I'm
no, I
still
was just gonna
figuring it
say that.
out.
No, no, the man, brother, the man figured that kids don't need all this space for recreation. They're like those kids need to have their butts in the classroom learning.
Yeah, I have ADHD, so that wouldn't have worked so well.
Hmm. They tried to tell
No.
my mom I had it, but she was like, no.
What about you? What's your earliest school memory?
Well, one of my early school memories, I did kind of touch on it a little bit, was the fluoride tablets. I used to go to Peninsula. I want to say preschool, but it could have been elementary. Honestly, didn't do my research to back up, but I remember saying like I
On
would
the
go to
spot.
Peninsula. But leading the line at the beginning when they're doing the roll call for the kiddos, walking, actually walking with my sister in the snow, like as kids. Like I remember these kinds of things. You know what I mean? Like and this is gonna sound like a back in my day kind of situation,
Ooh, shut it.
but it was a little bit safer in the neighborhood for kids to be able to do that kind of stuff. Like we could have been no older than like 5 or 6, me and my sister, and we're just walking in the snow to preschool, no problem. Preschool, I believe was Peninsula. I remember Humboldt Elementary was where I went for elementary, and gosh, you want to talk about having crushes on people?
Oh no.
I had a crush on one of my teachers there. So that's a little embarrassing. How's a kid know? But I could just, you think back on it, you're like your behavior as a child, you're kind of like, yeah, there was some sort of weird. I mean, not weird, but like infatuation. You're just kind of like, wow.
I had a crush on my gym teacher in fifth grade. She was built. Woo!
So
Woo!
I guess you get
Never had
it.
those feelings about a teacher before until I get into public school.
Sorry, this is the R-rated part of the podcast, just so you know, folks.
Anybody who's in a relationship with us, turn your ears away. It's in the
Oh my gosh.
past.
There you go. Well, and that's what the pass is up for, The pass is for digging up and just like putting it on a plate for the world to see or hear
Hold on,
in
I'm
the case
getting a
of the podcast.
spam call. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Who's this?
Hi, I speak with Anthony. My name's Nancy. I'm with Opinion Services. Would Anthony Cardinale be available to speak with?
Cardidali. Uh, Hold on. He's doing a podcast
Yes.
right now. Can I give him your number to call you back?
Well, we can try. We'll try him a little bit later, another day.
Yeah, we have Netflix over here, so I have his phone while he's doing it.
God.
Okay, thank you.
Gotcha.
Try. I don't know if you do
All right,
weekends
thank you.
or Monday.
Yeah, we can try. Will tomorrow be good?
Yeah, sure. What time?
Well, what would be convenient would be better for him?
Uh, I'll have to page him on the pager. And I'll get back to
Yeah.
you.
We'll call. Yeah, we'll come. We'll call him sometime in the afternoon
Okay. Thank you.
if he's available. Okay.
Okay.
You're welcome.
It reminds me of the old days I used to do prank calls. Oh,
Oh
those were
my
some good
god.
days in high school.
Oh my god. Holy crap.
Oh shit! I still haven't made an appointment with my doctor, and it's been like a month.
Oh,
Oh, don't look at your phone.
wow. So that wasn't really unscripted. That wasn't really scripted, folks. Like he really just got a spam call. Oh my lord in heaven. Jeez, dude.
Before we go back to nostalgia, I've been
Oh,
getting. Oh, I kind of want to save this for another topic, but you know what? I'm going to get into it. A side note from the nostalgia, I've been getting a lot of text messages on WhatsApp, Telegram, and my phone from women who are from China, Japan, Korea, or here saying, "Oh, hey, my dog is sick. What do I do, Mr. Stevens?" And it's like some fake text message. They say, "Oh, sorry, this isn't Mr. Steven. Oh, and
What
I
the
say, yeah,
fuck?
yeah, no, it's not. And then they say, oh, thank you for understanding. You're such a kind person. And then I'd be like, blah, blah, blah. And then they get into some crypto, Bitcoin kind of stuff. And I say, nope. And
What?
then they stop
Oh
after I
my
ask them to
gosh.
show me some topless photos.
Well,
Then they block me
let me
because they just want
tell
money.
you something, Morty. Nah, there's a lot of scams these days, and you
I
got to
found a
protect
Reddit
yourself,
blog about it. Like, all
dude.
these
I'm
men talking
telling
about
you.
these Chinese girls texting them. And they say, I keep asking her for topless pics, but she's so stubborn.
Oh my gosh, people on Reddit have no, they have no
I
chill.
saved that because I thought it was
Uh,
hilarious. Let's see. Anyway, back to preschool. Before I got that, did you have more to touch on your early preschool memory?
well,
That was just a random spam call.
before we were so rudely interrupted by,
Yeah. You know what? It sounded like a woman who was in her 50s or something, or early 60s. So I felt kind of bad. So I was kind of being extra nice. Grandma, I should have said that. It's like, Grandma, is that you?
I love how you were like, he's on the
We
Netflix,
got
so I've got
Netflix
his.
here. I wanted to sound like I'm important. We're
You're
important.
foolish, bro.
And you know how I threw an old school pager? I said I'd page him. I'll get his pager. Like, who uses a pager anymore?
That that shit made me queasy, dude. I was about to die. That wow, that's so fucking hilarious.
Speaking of childish moments, Eric, what is something you used to play with on the playground? What kind of games did you play on the playground as a kid, or outside in general when you were at home with friends or whatever? We're talking either games that were available that you play together on the playground, or you'd make up a game like you're pretending to be Indiana Jones or something.
One of my favorite things to do was make up shit. I mean, I always believe that one of my most powerful assets is my imagination. Basically, I mean, I would do all sorts of shit. I mean, you got your tag and your freeze tag, and I mean, tag and freeze tag in my mind require like I'm not gonna say basic bish levels of like
Oh God.
imagination, but definitely, I mean, oh, somebody tells you to freeze when you get tagged. I mean, it doesn't take much imagination to be like, you know what I mean? Like, but to imagine that your finger's a laser pistol, or that your walking legs are like a hovering freaking
Yeah.
craft, and that you're chasing somebody, yeah, no, like that kind of stuff takes a lot of imagination, and that was kind of more my field. I did, just like any other kid, love jumping off of the swings, whether it was like a backflip, which was fun when I finally learned it, or whether it was just like seeing how far you could fly and marking it with the bark dust. You know what I mean? Like those kind of playground games were fun. I still remember
Backflip?
back in. Oh, dude, if you flip, like if you roll the right way as you're swinging forward, you can just roll right off the swing and just like land on your feet.
I'd be too pussy to do that.
Oh, dude, come on. No, you got it. Anyways, favorite memory. I went to go do that, and I caught my sleeve in the chain link of the swing. You know, swings are always made of chain. Just ripped my shit off. Fourth grade, Vancouver.
The
Just
whole shirt?
not the whole shirt, just my sleeve, just the whole sleeve,
Oh,
and it was
I
hanging
thought
on
we
my
you got
strip. No, I mean, wouldn't that have been cool? Just like ripped away, and I've got like abs
nothing
or something.
epic. Dang, that must have scared you.
I Yeah, because I caught on, so I kind of swung back with the swing, but I caught myself like on my feet, and then I was just like, oh. And it was right at the end. It
Jeez.
was right at the end of school. We had to like run back to the. You know what? I would say fourth grade was probably one of like my pre like high school like greatest memories. Like that school. I want to say it was like either Hardy Elementary or Harvey Scott. I want to say Harvey Scott was out here in Portland, so I think it's Harney. But Harney was one of the best like learning experiences I've ever had. They had the whole library and
Okay.
computer bank experience. They had computer banks for different classes on different levels. So it wasn't like they were all sharing the same stuff. And they really cared about the students there. And I just remember a lot of like the things that I learned there about like Native American culture. We took field trips to Fort Washington back when that was a thing, and saw like all the cannons. And I got like a horseshoe that I used to have until just a few years ago. Like that was Actually,
Ooh,
one of the best experience. Like I had a teacher there that believed in my poetry writing so much that he bought me a book of poems by Robert Frost with a personal note about how he believed in me. And that just meant so
wow.
much that like I will say that was one of my top like schooling experiences. Yeah.
Who was your favorite teacher
I believe his name
that
was
had an
Mr.
impact on you?
Baloo. His name was Mr. Baloo, I believe at that school. Second favorite was my English
Mr. Baloo.
teacher. Yes, like the bear.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, the bear. Wow.
And Mr. Baloo, if you're
And
listening
then
out there and if you're watching this somewhere, you had one of the most impactful experiences on my life. You and I cannot remember. I believe it was the fourth grade math teacher there. You guys were incredible. Thank you. And the homeroom
wow.
teacher. So whatever. Anyways, they were all great.
Oh, well, nice. What about mine? What? Jeez.
I was gonna say that was kind of a lot, man,
Uh,
to
that was
digest.
a heartstring tug right there. Um, let me see. What games I would play? Well, I've been obsessed with Star Wars since '97, since the special edition release. And mind you, if you remember, Taco Bell had those Star Wars toys too for it. Yeah, we play Star Wars on the playground. We'd have to use sticks as lightsabers, or we'd
Uh,
have to pretend because they wouldn't let us hold sticks. Sometimes, but we get away with it. They didn't see.
mm-hmm.
Uh, Pretend the swings are the forest speeders or pod racers. When you're on it,
Ooh.
jump off like Spider Man. Play Indiana Jones. Mars Attacks. That was kind of a rare one to play. Mars Attacks. When did that come out in
Oh
'97 or
man, something like
'96?
that.
I forgot.
Pierce Brosnan. I mean, you had so many good people in that.
Jack
But, oh man,
Nicholson. Jack
yeah.
Black gets blasted into ash.
Oh my
Weird.
gosh, amazing.
What else did we play? Mr. Bean a few times because I was obsessed with Mr. Bean back in the '90s when the
You
first
were.
movie came out.
You absolutely were.
Uh, I don't know. I watched a lot of SNL too, so maybe that played a part on the playground. But yeah, I would be the director. I would say, "Hey, pretend you're doing this. Do this. You're going to be over there." And every the teachers, everyone's like, "You're going to be a movie star or director someday." And I never did, but I kind of did in my own way.
He was like Brendan Smalls from Home Movies. If you can, if you remember that show, if you can picture that,
Oh
that's
my
that's
god,
Anthony.
home movies from Cartoon Network.
Oh man, yeah,
Oh,
classic,
that seemed
classic.
kind of adult, and I was confused by it when I first watched it.
Well, I mean, when you and I were watching it, we were fairly young. We definitely weren't exactly the target audience. I was sitting there 13 watching it, and it would be like for kids 14 and older, and I'd be like,
Oh,
"Ooh, I'm being
wow.
bad. I'm watching some Adult Swim."
Well, let's see. Um, yeah, we got a lot of TV shows to talk about. That's going to be an episode in itself. TV shows. Oh yeah, you said mention your favorite teacher. Wow.
Yeah, yeah. Talk to me more about your schooling experience, man.
In the '90s. Well, I remember all my
Yeah.
teachers. I remember all my grades I was ever in. I'm blessed to have such a vivid memory of that. What I can remember from that decade. But favorite teacher wasn't in the night. Okay, yes, first grade teacher and third grade teacher. So my first grade teacher was Mrs. Thomas. She was amazing at Columbia Christian School. They were all
Mhm.
amazing. There was all women, some men, but mostly women. We would have themes. We would have like underwater, space was always my favorite because she would decorate this little jungle gym that we had in the classroom that was built of wood. Some students' father would build this for each of the classrooms. She would put a tarp that was
Mhm.
white over it and put NASA on it. So we'd learn about space. We go in there. She put a computer with all space books, all in the classroom, all inside the spaceship, and Putt Putt Goes to the Moon. We could play that in there while we're having the count. The cast would count down 10, 9. Then they stomp their feet on the ground. So it was like the thing's getting ready to take off. And then eventually crawl down on the moon. Sorry, my phone fell. And then we put foam, like foam sponges that look like the number 8, but it's a
Yeah.
solid, and we put those on our feet. So when we walk on the pillows on the ground, it's like we're moonwalking. It was crazy. We would have every topic, every project. Matt, it would be space. It was I don't even feel like I'm a good enough teacher because they were just above and beyond, but my mentors.
And I'm glad that you actually said that because I did want to pause on that for a quick moment. Now, for those of you who aren't like, I guess, personally close with A-CARD, he's actually a teacher in his regular life. He moved to Indonesia a few years ago to, pursue the career of like teaching kids. And it actually was something that, was really fruitful for him. And, as his friend, I did miss him for a while there for a few years. I mean, he's gone, and it's like losing your hand. No, I won't be too dramatic about it, but now that he's back, he can actually kind of give you guys a little bit more of an insight on what his experience on the other side of teaching kids and being taught as a kid.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, please tell us, man, what was that like, especially in
I
Indonesia of
feel
all
for my
places?
teachers. It's tough. It's but kids seem to gravitate towards me. Like I'm noticing more I'm doing it, the more the kids like today. The kids just huddle around me when I come to the school. I'm like, "Ooh, geez." Well, and the teachers are like, "Man, why do they love you so much?" Duh! I'm a big kid. I'm a big kid myself. But that just shows that I probably be a great father. Ooh, fingers crossed. Unless I have a
Oh
Damien,
wow.
then I'm screwed. Um,
Oh,
but yeah,
and for those of you who aren't familiar with movies, that's a
demon
demon
child from
child.
hell, impregnated into a woman somehow by the devil. Go figure.
What's the opposite of immaculate
Yeah,
conception?
that's Rosemary's Baby. I'm getting that confused. I haven't seen The Omen yet. Oops, but it's probably the same.
Oh, creepy. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, but in Indonesia, I got a teaching certificate in 2015. Been a teacher ever since, teaching English for 5 years in Indonesia. Met my wife here. She's from there. We lived there. Come back. I don't know why I came back. Family, friends, mostly. The culture shock coming back to the U.S., especially Portland.
Yeah, times are definitely changed.
Yeah, it was. You live like a king when you're teaching English overseas. I can tell you that much right now. Move out of the country.
Move out of.
Move out of the country.
Well, that's a not so subtle hint.
No, it's a great experience to learn culture. That's for sure. Try different things, learn different things, come back. You come back as a different person. I think I've matured a little bit with my wife. Who would have
Yeah,
thought?
actually, I'm pretty proud of you, man. You do seem like a different man than the person that left here, almost like many many years
Oh,
ago. And I definitely am proud of you for the things that you've accomplished in your life and who you've become now.
yeah, baby Anthony's all grown up. I'm a big boy.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right. So I figured that maybe we could wrap up this whole school section, maybe segue into something a little funner. We could start talking about some toys. You guys remember Crossfire?
Oh,
Crossfire was like Beyblade
Crossfire.
and Hungry Hungry Hippos on crack. Yeah,
Oh
and one of my
yeah,
favorites.
Hungry Hippos. Side note, I love playing the Hungry Hippos on Rec Room. I'm sure you remember that video I uploaded. I don't know if you actually saw that video.
I actually did catch that a while back. I didn't. I like watched part of it. I will be honest with you. When I was trying to watch it, it was like really early in the morning, and Emily was like, "Baby," and I was like, huh, "Yes, hello." What?
And then something happened.
No, and then basically I just stopped. Like I just got interrupted and stopped watching it. It was like right before work, early in the morning, so just bad timing. I
Boo.
know,
But yeah,
terrible
early in the
friend.
morning stuff.
I can't sleep early in the morning, and sometimes I wake up at like 5 or 6, and I just hop on
Oh
YouTube.
well. Eventually it gets back. What were we talking about? Oh, toys. What?
Duh.
What is something you remember? What's some toys you remember? I got some here.
Well, I first started talking about Crossfire, but I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
if we're
Crossfire.
gonna count board games under the umbrella of toys, then I mean, Clue and Sorry and Connect Four were some of my favorite board
Oh
games.
yeah.
Connect Four is just it's so simple, but sometimes the best games in life are simple, and you can't really beat it. I mean, you can beat people at it.
I liked a game that was from the 80s. I think it was from the 80s, early 80s, but it also was popular in the 90s. Simon Says. And It's fun getting into trouble. Well, we had Mr. Bucket and Gator Golf too.
Trouble was so satisfying with that little popper.
Oh, I
Satisfying.
know. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna share
I
this.
hope your ears are okay.
Let me see if I can share my screen. I figured this out now. I can do this now. Oh, I want the whole. I want.
Oh,
In it. I
you
got
got something
just
special to
a
share with
whole.
the audience.
Not our screen. Here we got some koosh ball. We all had this.
Oh, geez, that's the kind of
I
toys that you
definitely
had.
had this doctor set.
Oh my gosh, that Doctor, that the OG Doc McStuffin set. Yeah.
You know those brick cell phones you could buy the toy ones too, like hello operator. It'd be like the '80s looking cell phone.
I forgot to tell you that Anthony's like Carl Winslow, or is it Michael Winslow?
Oh,
It's Michael Winslow. Police Academy. Yeah, this guy's got sound effects and voices on deck for
yeah, I
days.
do. I do. I remember these blocks too.
The fool said, "Operator,
Operator, hello.
hello."
Hey, remember that story about that girl that opened this up on Christmas and it flew into the fire?
Oh my gosh, I remember those things. The freaking oh my gosh, my sister had one. My other sister had, like, yeah, you just couldn't get away with
Mm-hmm.
you just couldn't be a girl in the 90s and not have one of those.
This was my favorite.
Gak?
Oh yeah,
Oh
Gak.
man,
Click on that.
I
Nickelodeon.
had the
Oh
Gak.
no, I had
Oh
this creepy
man.
doll. I love the colors. You wiggle its head and it goes like Gak. Oh no! Don't go back. Stay here.
Anthony, it's your alarm
Yeah, I know.
clock.
It's still in mint condition. I keep, guys. He's gonna edit this out because I messed this up. Oh, okay, there we go. Okay, we got Polly Pocket down there too in Mighty Max. Gak. I had. They had a green. I had orange, I think, and I also had the.
Nickelodeon's
Remember the
Gak.
foam one?
Wow.
The foam.
They do have a green one. I had the
I
green
did,
one for
and I
sure.
had the Gak one.
Was that the glow in the dark, the foam one?
No, it was just purple. It was like that bubbly foam one that you could twist and bend and it formed like memory foam.
Hmm.
And if you got gack on the
Yeah.
carpet, you're in trouble. You're
But it's fun getting into trouble. We
not with
already
your
described that.
parents. And if you grew up in the 90s, I remember when
Oh,
Pizza Hut was selling um Beauty and the Beast rubber. I don't know if they were actually puppets, but it was hard to use as a puppet. I had Belle, the clock, Cogsworth, and the Beast. But we also had these games, these little cheap little games.
basically, OG collector over here.
I think I still have these. And Eric, these are Pogs.
Oh man.
I tried to talk to Eric about Pogs. You don't remember
Um,
these?
just
Burgerville was selling them for a
barely,
second.
just barely. Like now I can see that one, um, with the
You
purple
could
and
have
the
like
blue hair.
Marvel, Goosebumps. Yeah. And then I had a Slammer Pog. It was like Mr. Fantastic Marvel, Golden Slammer with two grips on the back. You boom, slam it. I didn't know how to play it. I was just told how it works, and I still don't know how to play it. So I think you just have to flip them over or something. And then we got
Really?
poppers. You shoot them at your friends. Etch a sketch, bop it, twist it, pull it. I love it when they pull it. I'm being dirty now. Oh, here's some more pogs,
Not a
Eric.
guy. Jeez, that's a frick ton of them. I guess we
Yeah,
are
we're
still
talking about
talking
toys.
toys.
I know I need to zoom through them real quick. I'm gonna zoom through it really quick. We got see-through cell phones, easy bake oven, Viewmaster. Oh, I did have this where you throw the ball back and forth to each other. Kevin McAllister voice recorder.
Well, here. I
Oh,
mean,
Nickelodeon Yak Bag. Oh,
Oh
and
my
Eric, here's
gosh,
that toy
jeez,
phone.
the yak backs. But that looks like an actual representation of the actual old school cell phones before, like cordless phones before they got better.
Yep.
Better.
And I did remember these roller skates. They were noisy as heck.
They was
And
as
the
simple
sticky
as
hands. If you
roller
got
skates.
hair on it, game over. I know, right? Those were we put our shoes in them because they don't. And these
I
sticky
used to
hands, if
call.
they got fuzz or fur on it, it's game over. You don't get to play with them anymore.
Yeah. No, that's, literal game over. Don't leave it on the carpet. It's game over.
Yeah. Game over. I need to stop screen sharing here. Stop sharing. There we go.
Oh my gosh.
See, I could get into. I go into endless searching over here on on my collection site.
Well, I kind of wanted to touch back on a point that you made earlier, and it's the fact that parents back in the day, when it came to punishing their kids, were super freaking sadistic. I mean, have you ever held a bar of soap in your mouth? Horrible,
I did not, but I know
horrible.
Ralphie did in a Christmas story.
Well, call me
You held a
Ralphie,
bar of soap
cause
in your hand. I mean, your hand,
mouth,
your
dude,
mouth.
your mouth.
Your hand would be
Yes.
generous.
Sorry, people.
Oh
The
God,
story is breaking his brain. He's like, "What? You had to do what?" No, yeah. Basically, I'll give you an
that's all
example.
you got.
No, no. I'm black. No, definitely
Oh,
not.
you got whipped
Black people don't call it whipped.
with the belt,
We
spanked.
call it whooped.
Oh God, I'm
Jeez.
going to hell, people. I'm going to hell.
I'll
I'm
be right
already
there with you.
there. Oh
Already
shit.
there.
Okay, yeah, whooped, whooped, whooped.
But long story short, basically, man, if you were saying bad words around my mom when you were younger, you were gonna get whooped or like a mouthful of soap. And she loved the mouthful of soap when she learned how like horrible it was. She was like, "Oh yeah, you what'd you just say? Here's a bar
Oh,
of
she
soap."
you took advantage of it.
Well, because one time, here's the story I was trying to tell you. My sister and I were sitting there talking about comic book stuff, and I love comic book stuff. Back in the day, I was really into DC, and I was like, "Hey, sis, do you know what Batman's sidekick's real name is?" And she goes, "What?" And I go, "Dick Grayson." And my mom was like, "To the bathroom," and it was soap for me, soap for dinner.
Wait, is that a dirty joke?
Well, yes, Anthony. Richard, nickname for Richard is Dick. So like
Wait, is this not a real character? I'm having a dumb blonde moment right now. Wait, what?
Batman's psychic's name is Robin,
It's
and
Robin.
one of Robin's real names outside of his identity
Oh, okay. That's what I thought. It
is
sounded
Dick Grayson.
familiar. But you just emphasized the word dick. So,
Yas, because I was a little shithole kid.
okay. Really? You seem like a really sweet kid when I met you. Oh
I mean,
God, maybe there's things
I'm
I didn't know.
I'm sweet, but you told me not to do something, and I want to do it. Rebellious.
Dude, do you remember Mall 205?
Remember it? I was just there like a few days ago.
Okay, well, it's nothing to complain about, really.
Nah, it's
But
nothing
back
to
in the
write home about either.
90s, Mall 205 was the shit.
How'd you jump from
Remember?
getting punished as a kid to Mall 12?
Because you told me about a toy. You told me about comic books. I know I have to go back to toys really quick. Mall 205 in the 90s had a costume store around Halloween. They had Barnes and Noble, a grocery store. Santa Claus was there, and it was the shit when he was there. And they had a learning learning center, learning stuff where you buy learning books, rubber puppets that looked like the presidents. It was weird. And they had a collector's connection store. That's why I'm bringing up comic books. It was called Collector's Connections from the late 90s.
Hmm.
Did you ever go there?
I barely remember it. Is that the one with like the trains and stuff?
Oh, no, no. Let me clarify what Collector's Connection was. It was a shit type place. They had Pokemon cards, vintage Star Wars toys from the 70s and 80s and 90s. Power of the Force was there. And I have toys from the 70s and 80s of Star Wars that I bought back then still to this day. That's what I was going. I thought you would have been there too. They had Marvel stuff, everything. So I thought you would have gone there to get some
I
comics.
mean, I was mostly like borrowing like and checking out comics from the library. I didn't actually start owning comics
Oh,
until gosh, maybe like 2015.
I loved the library when I was in elementary. I didn't add that to my elementary memories, but yes, library was cool back in the day. I don't know if a lot of people go to the library. If you still go to the library, post in the comments telling why you still go. What do you do when you're there?
After all, Arthur said it
Okay,
best: having fun isn't hard when you've got a library card. because it really was all about using that Dewey Decimal System to find yourself some good ass
I
literature.
could never fucking figure that Dewey Decimal System out. I could never find the index card. I couldn't do it. It boggled my head. She tried the library and tried to teach us how to use it before computers were implemented in schools. I still couldn't do it. Just tell me where the book is.
Hey, man, this is the Dewey Decimal System. um,
What were we talking about? Oh, punishments. You got that punishment. My babysitter gave me the wooden cooking spoon. My babysitter, not even my legal
I was gonna
guardian.
say she.
On the hand.
Uh,
I mean, back in the 90s, you in the 80s, after the 90s, you couldn't get away with that stuff so much. But you could then. My dad would give me the belt. You said whoop. He whipped me with that belt. And it hurt. And I would oh, I pulled down my pants and I'm like this. And then he went like because he felt bad that he had to spank me because he knew I like he touched my butt
oh man,
like that and did that. I was like,
my
really?
mom spanked
Really?
the crap out of my ass with my pants down. Oh my gosh, that's one of my worst ones, man. I was acting up in school during art class, and the principal actually called her down to the school to get me. And we got home, and she was like, "Pants," and I pulled the pants down. She was like, "Drawers," and I was like, "Oh shit."
Shit.
And then
You'd be
yeah.
lucky if you get the timeout chair.
Well, she couldn't put me in timeout because my dumbass would peel the paint off the walls in the corner of the wall, so she couldn't put me in
And
timeout to work.
in today's society, they don't. There's not really much. There's no spankings anymore. Not that I say I want to bring back
Well,
spankings.
try to spank your kid in public and see what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I know. And timeout. Oh, we can't put him in timeout. I would definitely put my kid in timeout. It gives him time to think, reflect.
have them do a timeout in the middle of a bed. You know,
I gotta turn on a light over here. I'm getting
you're
dark.
gonna take a timeout nap.
I'm starting to go in the shadows.
One of my dad's punishments was he used to
Oh
put me. He would take a nap, and you'd have to go no TV in a room with the shades drawn, bright ass light outside, taking a fucking nap in the middle of the afternoon. Oh, that used to be the worst. I used to hate
Mm-mm.
that. I hated that worse than a fucking ass whooping because I'd eat the ass whooping and at least still be able to go outside after I finish crying. But the
Be like, come on, I get to go outside with this. Just get it over
do you
with.
know
And your friends will be like, hey, how'd it
do you know how
go?
disappointing as a kid it is to be put to nap at 1 o'clock in the afternoon and then wake up and it's 7 at night? That's horrible.
What about going to bed at 8 o'clock when daylight savings happens? When summertime or you still have school and it's still daylight and you have to go to bed. I hate it. I'm like, Mom, but it's not dark yet. I can't sleep. Oh, I hated it. Hated it. I couldn't sleep.
Well, that was like
Still
before
daylight.
I turned 13. But I feel you. I feel you.
I still couldn't do it. It was like under 10 for me. It didn't seem right. It wasn't natural. It's like it's not the next day till you wake up. I mean, now that wouldn't that's not how I think, but
But then you just,
okay, quick before we go to the 2000s. I just want to ask, what was your favorite TV show growing up? Name three favorite TV shows you liked watch growing up in the 90s and three movies that you saw in the theater.
top 90s TV shows. We've got I mean, can we count this as a TV show? The whole entirety of the One Saturday Morning lineup.
ABC's One Saturday Morning?
They had a lot of my favorite shows on there.
One Saturday morning. Do 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 do.
You had
Peppermint,
dinosaurs.
peppermint. Na,
I
na,
mean,
na, 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 na. Yeah.
Dino Thunder, freaking Power Rangers. You had
Hercules,
Hercules. You had like a lot of those good classic shows, man.
Pepper Ann, Recess.
Recess was the jam.
Now, I didn't watch ABC One Saturday Morning often, but I did watch Fox Kids because
Fox Kids
it
was
was
good.
hard to compete with that. But I was watching that, I think, before ABC One Saturday Mornings because back then they had Sonic the Hedgehog, Ace Ventura, The Mask. They had like two Jim Carrey spin-off cartoons from his film. It was bizarre. Um, Amazing Spider-Man was my number one. Men in Black, uh, Ghostbusters. I didn't really care for the real Ghostbusters. I mean, it has its place back then, but I like the old
I feel
Ghostbusters
you,
cartoon.
dude. And you want to talk about like
Uh,
one of my favorite movies from back in that time? It
what?
was Spider Man. I loved the Tobey Maguire.
I spit all over my screen. Damn it!
I loved
Wow.
that freaking movie. It still has the kiss on the back on everything, man, dude. Yeah,
In the late '90s, I had a dream that
still
they
got
were going to
that.
make a real Inspector Gadget movie and a real Spider-Man movie, and eventually, a few years later, they made Inspector Gadget
It's one of my favorites.
and they made Spider-Man, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Because I was addicted to Inspector Gadget back in the day.
That Inspector Gadget
Okay,
movie
you
was
got your
incredible.
shows besides Saturday morning cartoons, which I didn't even think about talking about. You just brought it up. That's
Yeah,
great. TV shows. I loved. I remember watching the last few seasons of Full House when it was actually airing, Fresh Prince and Family Matters because they went out. Full House ended in '95. Fresh Prince, Family Matters ended in '98, and so did Married with Children. I remember watching that at my grandma's house. We watched Jeopardy. Loved Price is Right. I'm addicted to the Wheel.
oh,
Wheel of Fortune.
addicted to the wheel,
Um, Nickelodeon, Keenan and Kel, all that. I remember when all that's first season came out. Cartoon Network.
dude.
Ooh,
1997's Good
Scrooge's
Burger,
Squirrel.
classic movie.
I have the DVD. I have Shazam. We're gonna have an episode where we talk about Disney TV movies and other movies that we watched in the summer. That I
We got
dedicated.
it. We
It's
got
gonna
to
take a whole
tighten it
episode.
into a whole thing. It has to, you know.
Um. Okay. Top movies. I remember seeing Casper, The Flintstones, Jumanji, bats. Bats from '97 or '98 that freaked me out. I was terrified of bats after that for a little bit.
My freak me out like
Um,
90s movie would have to be Anaconda with like John Voight and Ice Cube. Dude, that movie made me piss my pants. I was like, giant snake.
there was one about killer bees that was like a TV movie or something. I got paranoid about bees. Like, oh my god, someday these are gonna happen to kill me.
Oh yeah.
Okay, you remember seeing that in the theater, Anaconda?
Oh no, I remember seeing Anaconda at home. And as far as like 90s movies in the
What
theater,
movie do you remember seeing? I saw Lion King. I remember seeing Lion King and Toy Story 2
I think I saw one of the Toy
in
Stories in
Target.
theater, but I can't remember which one. I ended up taking myself to a few Disney movies. Like, I mean, as a grown ass man, I went and saw Peter Pan 2. So, I mean, I love Disney. I One of my favorite Disney movies.
Peter Pan 2.
Oh, dude, when they return to Neverland.
There's a sequel.
Yeah,
I guess I don't remember
Wendy's
this.
daughter goes back to Neverland instead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that kind of sounds familiar. All right. There are some things that we're going to touch on in more detail. Like, there's going to be topics of movies, TV shows, video games that we'll have a whole episode dedicated to if you guys are still with us in this podcast. That we will go in detail. It's just that we're just bringing up things that we remember that our memories are fond of.
This is a nostalgia episode.
Okay, so yes, what a way to start. Eric and I met in 2006. What do you remember about our first? Do you remember our first meeting? I remember it.
Oh yeah, well please share it because if I could use it.
So there was this girl I had a crush on. She's probably gonna listen to this, but you know what? It's okay. It's in the past, but I still remember. I have a very good memory. Her name was Domitila. Um, I thought she was a badass chick because I didn't see many Hispanic chicks dressed like emo punk, and I was like, this is unique. I got, you know what? And I was getting at that age, where you interested in girls, and I kind of liked her. Nothing ever came of it, by the way. Uh, I was just, just me, and I come up to Eric because I remember seeing him there with her every now and then at lunch, and I came up to him like, "Hey, do you know where Domitila is?" And he was like, no. I mean, she's probably out with some other friends right now because it'd just be lunchtime, and then we just hung out after that. We just started talking and like, hey, because I didn't know what to talk about. I would just kind of float with everybody in school. I didn't go to one particular group, and we just hung out. I forgot what we were talking about, but then we got on the conversation of Tenacious D,
Hmm.
and I just started listening to them. and just random stuff, and we just hit it off from there.
I just remember thinking that Anthony was one of the realest people that I had ever met. And back in high school, I guess I was annoying or whatever, but like people didn't really seem to care for me much, and so it was kind of hard. Like I was personable to reach out and try to make friends with people, but there was some parts of my personality that were just kind of grating until really like sophomore year, and so people couldn't like people just found it, I guess, hard to be around me. And so like Anthony was one of the people who actually treated me with respect, and like one of the few people who actually acted like I actually mattered. And it was refreshing because I was used to meeting so much adversity. And I just was happy to have found someone who, even if we didn't always have like the exact same interest, were so aligned that we could learn and grow from each other. I was very impressed with what he was doing with music at the time. He was impressed with what I was doing with video, and he learned different film techniques. I learned different film techniques, and we just have always kind of like gravitated towards mutual respect for each other. And that's definitely where I am thankful for the relationship that I've built with Anthony over the years, because he's definitely like a true blue type of like friend, a loyal guy who doesn't disappoint. That's for sure.
Wow,
Glowing.
that's
That's a
the
glowing
best
review from yours truly.
scripted thing I've ever heard. No, I'm just kidding. Oh my God, Eric, you have the glove.
Oh, you this thing?
Oh my God, you're not Eric. You're Freddy
Welcome
Krueger.
to my nightmare, bitch.
I forgot I gave that to you or your
Nope, you gave
sister.
it to me, buddy, right before you moved.
That's the final nightmare glove, I
Yeah,
believe.
made this in high
I
school.
think somebody made
This
that.
guy.
I bought it off eBay and it looked nothing like the picture when I got it, but I ended up keeping that in the mask. Should I get the
I
mask?
thought you made this in metal shop class in high school.
Yeah, right. They would never let you make a weapon in shop
That's what
class.
you. That's what you told
I
me.
didn't.
That's not the story.
No,
You,
no. I bought that off eBay in
I told
2004.
everybody that you made this. You didn't make this.
Hey, keep saying that 'cause it sounds
My
good.
God, folks, you heard it here live.
Maybe
The
I think
deception.
I lied to your sister just joking with her, and I think she thought it was serious. I
The
forgot.
deception falls
Oh my
apart.
God.
Cut to literal ribbons, if you will. Wow.
Oh my God. No,
Wow.
but there is nightmaregloves.com where this guy has been making those gloves since 2002 or 3, and they look really legit.
I can't believe
And
it.
I still need to buy one.
You got me good.
I know, disappointment. I'm kind of sad that you. I kind of feel bad now that you thought that.
you,
Oh my
you,
God.
you let, you let me down, man.
Wow. But yeah, I had great memories of my high school days. Finding myself, music. I mean, we were listening to Avril Lavigne at the time. Back in the day, the music you guys are finding cool now is what we grew up with. Green Day. I'm not a big Green Day guy, but they were prominent. My Chemical Romance, Avril Lavigne, Blink 182. What other bands were there that I can't think of?
Oh well, don't forget one of
Bowling
the
for
ones that
Soup.
you were super big into, like Fallout Boy.
Okay, I really despised Fall Out Boy until 2008 when their Folie à Deux album came out, and I was like,
You
this
despised
music's
them
kind
until
of
right before we
banging.
went to the freaking farewell tour. What?
I remember telling my
Surprised.
cousin, rest in peace, uh, that Fall Out Boy, no, they just fall right out of my iPod.
Oh damn. The shade.
Which, mind you, wait 1 second. I need to show you the iPod that I still have, but it doesn't work anymore. It's fine. The hardware's finally gave
No,
out
you had
last
just
year.
refurbished it, or you just got it to work.
Yes, I just uploaded everything after I got back to America. I'm going to show you. Hold
Yeah,
on.
well, while you're looking for that, I do want to share with you folks something really quick. Check out these baby photos. Oh, that's me. Oh my gosh. Look at how cute I am. Oh, is that me with a teddy bear? Oh, is
Okay,
that me as MVP?
this is what. Oh, you're showing some photos. Oh my God. Yeah, I need to show some photo too.
Dude, MVP.
Continue.
No, no, no. I just wanted people to kind of see some of those baby photos as a quick fill-in while you were ready to get the iPod.
Oh,
Please throw that iPod out, man. Let's do that bad
oh,
boy.
that's true. Because I was gonna say wait, like y'all are gonna wait for me. But
We ain't
this
waiting
was
for you.
my pride and joy. What I'm about to show you. I added this Cobra Starship decal that they were selling online for these iPods in 2008 or
Yeah, you
9,
show the masses.
and
I'm
I
gonna go get that
finally
beer.
okay. So this is my pride and joy. Eric and I would listen to this constantly, Tenacious D shit. Every lunchtime when we met up, we'd be chatting, shitting away, listening to Tenacious D on the brick. This is the
Wow.
80 gig iPod, I think second generation. Um, yeah, I cleaned up the back of it. I took the decal off the back because it's the same as the front, but I kept the front. But it's a black version. Um, I remember Domitila was listening to this, and I said, "Be careful." And what'd she do? Oops! Dropped it
I
like
remember.
half a
I remember
foot,
that day.
and I'm like, God! And I picked it up like, oh, my baby! And she was like, "Geez, it's not gonna break." But the year does say 2006 on this, so yeah, this was my pride and joy. And it would only work after 2014. It stopped working because I let it die too much without, like, I let it fully die too much, and then it fucked up the battery. So it would only turn on and work plugged in to the AC adapter to the car. I mean the adapter to the car, so you can play it through the radio.
Mm-hmm. That
This
makes sense.
over 5,000. I probably have almost 10,000 pieces of music total on my computer. So I still have music on my iTunes. So if I ever get something to put it on, because now they discontinued iPods, damn it.
Because now
I'm
they
an
have the
old school.
iPhone.
I like simple. I want these. I want a new one. Check us out. I'm on SoundCloud. I don't have a Twitter anymore. I deleted that because I don't use it. We have Facebook, but that's for more like personal stuff. But there's a Facebook page, doesn't have much on it. So mainly check us out on Instagram and YouTube at A.CARD and Ayrflo. Okay, you do that part because I'm going blank
Here,
right
you
now.
want me? You want me to help you out, but hold on. Let me finish and wrap this up. Okay, we got the. All right. Let me plug it away. Thanks again for listening to A.CARD and Ayrflow's awesome podcast. You can go ahead and check us out on our respective YouTube channels. We got A.CARD Music and we got acard.tv. We also have the A.CARD and Ayrflow podcast YouTube channel. We're going to start up a Patreon so that you can, folks, if you like what you hear, can try to support us in the future. Hopefully, we can get some better gear. We can get the better funding to try and fund better projects for you folks. Maybe we'll do a podcast in person so you can have double the fun.
Maybe a live stream too on Twitch or Facebook or YouTube or Discord or something. I don't use Twitch or Discord, but maybe that's something I could try. I don't know.
This podcast, I mean, you're listening to it already, but in future podcasts, will be able to be found easily on Apple Music, Spotify, you name it. We got you. And just look for us on YouTube.
If you go to our YouTube channel, A.CARD and Ayrflo, arguably awesome podcast. I know it's long. If you go to the About section, it'll just have the links to the pages, social media stuff, just in case you're confused. So yeah.
Yes, that's right. All the hyperlinks will be right there. So you know where to find us. Thanks again for tuning in. Tune in probably sometime later in the month, or honestly, since it's the 24th of June, you're going to be checking us next month. Maybe we can try and have something up by 4th of July or something like that.
Yeah, that would be great. Independence Day, baby.
Thanks again.
Bye.